Are we live?
I think we are.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to our Rising Stars course.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Oh, gee, Alexandra just asked me to come on the call. I don't really know what to say.
Say hi.
Hello, everybody.
But hurry it up, because you're 15 seconds in.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. So, big welcome to the Rising Star course. I don't really have too much involvement in this. It's all down to Alexandra, and I believe you have the awesome Kat Banbury running this course with you.
Yes, I do. I'm very lucky.
So I just want to add a few things, okay? Listen to what both Alexandra and Kat has to say. I've been working with Kat for the last 9 months, ever since she did this course. And that girl, when it comes to sales, when it comes to recruitment, when it comes to team building, when it comes to motivation and positivity, is the girl you need to go to. So we have an awesome mentor this time, so make the most out of it. Make the most of Alexandra.
Yes.
She hasn't got really much experience, but she's just bluffing it. I'm only joking. We don't have to really talk about our success. Our success is right behind us. We were in England last week, where we started our relationship together, which was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And we often say Sensi changed our life, and we often just throw those words out there. So it did change our life, but we often just throw those words out there, don't we? Sensi changed our life.
You talk ever so fast.
Okay, I'll slow down. When we go back to where we started, we actually realised that Sensi really did change our life. And it can do the same for you guys too. And this is where it starts, okay? You've joined up as a consultant, you've sold a bit of products, you may have got your first team member, but now this is the time when you really can start to take your business seriously. So, goals, okay? Being on this course, you have a goal of becoming a director in the next 12 months. You might not know that, but that is the goal.
I've kind of told them all September.
September, yeah, okay,
because
sorry.
I think if you sit in this course, I've had people who sat this course and finished in May and hit it in July. And they started the course in April as lead consultants.
Do you want me to tell you my problem? I'm sitting in the sunshine in the winter, so I think it's like July.
I know.
So, yeah,
I know.
No, definitely 9 months. And why you got to be aiming for August. July if you're in Australia, New Zealand. August if you're in the UK and Ireland. Why?
Yeah.
Or UK, Ireland, Spain, France, USA, wherever you are. Why? Because if you hit it in July, you're going to get some nice paychecks all the way to November as a director. If you don't hit it in July, then we have a good 4 or 5 months to get you in a position to hit director.
Absolutely.
Same routine for August too, because, bottom line is we're going to earn and become a director. Well, hey, that's great. But the bottom line is we want to be earning consistent paychecks. You don't want a nice blowout paycheck. We want consistent paychecks. But this is where it all starts.
And I just want to say, this is a course for people who want to be directors, want to be Sensi leaders, and want to make this a career. And honestly, even though you've succeeded in getting on the course, and well done, if you're actually not going to put the work in and you don't really want to take part in it and you don't really want to be a director, then now is the time to press the exit button on the group and just, it's fine. Honestly, we support people whether they are in our front line and not in our front line, and we support you fully whether or not you want to be our directors of the future. But we just like people to be upfront and honest, because I find that normally about 50% of the people who are in this group right now will actually do any work. And of those, I would say about 75% will graduate as star consultants and then go on to be very, very successful.
So yeah, we talked about being a director this year, but the main goal of this course is, and I want you to forget about becoming a director, get that out of your head, because we have to focus on what's in front of us. So the main goal of this course over how many weeks?
About 9.
About 9 weeks is to become a star consultant.
And if you're a star, you don't get off easily. You need to leave this as a superstar consultant. And guys, that means you've really got to work hard, because that leap from star to superstar, I personally think, is probably the hardest. That is the time when you really put the grind in.
And we've got over 40 directors and star directors in our group, and every single one of them has come from this course. Now, always remember, what happens is when you hit star, I come in and I work one-to-one on how you were directed, and everyone goes, oh, Scott's great, he works with us, he's one-to-one, and everybody always forgets where they actually started. And they normally start with this course, and Alexandra never really gets the credit she deserves. So always remember where you started, and when you're a director, at the end of the year, we can all celebrate together.
With Kat and me.
With Kat, not forgetting Kat too. But I'm going to let I've gone on 4 minutes
Well,
and 49
no.
seconds. So
You
I'm not-
can join in. You can add to this. First of all, I have my notes, and I want to say, first of all, guys, do you understand the opportunity? Remember, I asked you to get the Sarah Rockin Robbins book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. Now, I hope you've read at least chapters 1 and 2. I know some of you will have steamed ahead and read the entire book. Well, that's great, because we're going to be reading it again. Feel free to mark out pages that you like or sections on your Kindle, things, and share them with your team. Remember, what we teach you in this course is what we want you to teach your teams. That is what a good leader really is. As I always say, leaders know the way, they show the way, and they go the way. So... And I'm sure I said that in the wrong way.
And can I add to that? And what Alexandra means by that, then, like with our future directors, our stars and above, I'm working on them. Now, forget about this. This is for the future. On recruiting 4 people a month. And I can't just sit there and say, okay, guys, we've got to recruit 4 people a month. We've actually got to go out there and recruit 4 people a month, because we've got to lead the way. So, what's next, Alexandra?
I want you guys to really understand the opportunity. This is a business where it doesn't matter if you have an education or don't, if you have money to invest in it or don't, if you have previous amazing experience, if you've ever done direct sales before, if you've ever done sales before. It doesn't matter if you have a shop front or not a shop front, if you can do events or you can't, if you have some form of disability or don't. This business doesn't care. The only thing it requires of you is, number 1, make a monetary investment, get a kit. And number 2, if you want to make it big, have a can-do attitude, be coachable, and that is absolutely huge, and have really big, hairy ass goals, as Orville likes to say.
And if I'm honest with you, those people who've come into this business like, I've done this before, and, I've got a massive palace in the Bahamas.
Oh, I've been in direct sales before, and I've had a huge team.
They normally don't work, but those who come in with zero experience, zero, mostly kidnappers, zero experience, stay-at-home mums with not the most confident people in the world normally go on to do great things because
and dads,
and dads too.
Blokes do very, very well on this, because you just simply don't let other people tell you that you're going to be a success or not success. You want this really, really badly because you see the opportunity. When Scott and I joined up, well, this was kind of my decision to join up. Mr. Scott, for once, tried to put me off. I just knew. I knew that you get one chance in life. I firmly believe you get one massive chance in life to change your life forever and ever and ever. And this was going to be my big chance, and I was going to do it. And luckily, Scott then, knew the power of direct selling and joined in with me. And we've been able to take ourselves from literally facing bankruptcy to now having just bought our first house for cash and renovated it in Spain.
And onto our second house for cash.
Which is phenomenal. And we've worked for every single thing that we've got. Yeah. We're now stay-at-home parents. We were able to decide to have our beautiful baby girl and be there for her from the day dot, which is lucky because I then also, unfortunately, became very restricted mobility during and after pregnancy. And again, when life throws stuff at you, if I had been in a normal job, I would have had to leave my job. I would have lost my career because my mobility was so badly affected for so very long.
And for myself,
as it is, I haven't. I've been able to work my business and change my business to fit around my mobility issues.
And for myself, on a personal note, and we talked, I looked at something the other week, it's something which really sparks you that you're going to make it happen no matter what it takes. I remember when Thea was first born, and I'm a male in a dominated female,
85% in direct selling.
And I was kind
females.
of running this business 9%, like when Alexandra was, not the best, I was kind of running this business pretty 9% on my own. And I remember feeling Thea's hands at age 10, and they were cold, and we couldn't afford...
10 days old.
10 days old.
Not 10 years old.
No, 10 days old. No, it would have been about 3 weeks old. And I felt the hands, and they were cold, and we couldn't afford to put oil in the tank to heat them. And I remember saying to myself, okay, And we got offered opportunity from Visualis.
Visit Visualis.
And that's probably something I would be more into, is sport, and and they offered us €10,000 to take our team at the time over to those guys.
€10,000 to do the dirty on other people.
When we couldn't afford to put heat.
That was a no-brainer for me, by the way.
That was a no-brainer for you, but it's very tempting when you're
broke.
A big bear who's a hunter-gatherer, and it was very tempting. But I think
you were tempted for all of about 5 minutes.
But we said no, and we were going to commit to our team and our Sensi business, and we were going to make sure that our daughter had heating. Now she has permanent outdoor heating, which is absolutely fantastic.
And that brings us to a really good point. Be all in. This chat now is we're gonna give you some homework. We're gonna talk kind of over some things that we have learned in our journey with Sensi, which is now nearly 7 years old, which is insane. Be all in. This is something that we got from Dorothy and Rick.
That means I started when I was 25. Jeez.
God.
I was a young
with Dorothy and Rick Thurman, who are our up line, and we've had the pleasure to spend time with numerous times. And guys, they're amazing. So if you're on the cruise, you'll get a chance to spend time with them too. And they just said you need to fully commit, do one thing and do it well. And as owners of multiple businesses at the same time, we would agree. Before Sensi, we would agree. I shut down. I lost one business and closed down another one in order to concentrate on Sensi. And Scott got rid of his events business. Like, kind of got rid of you, didn't it? But
yeah,
he didn't attempt anything else. As we said, we ate baked beans a lot. We didn't buy clothes. We used all our money and reinvested in Sensi. If we wanted to go on a trip, we didn't say, oh my God, it's the other side of the world. We just worked and worked and worked and worked to get the money to invest, to go see the people, because we knew that it would make the business
So what
work.
Alexandra's trying to say is your homework for this week is to put all your money into baked beans and put the rest into your Sensi business. Is that correct?
I'm not going to just no. But be all in. Like if you're piddling around doing other companies or thinking of doing something else or do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, just don't. And again, this course isn't for you if that's what you're doing, because one thing about Scott and I, if you want to progress and get onto his star group, you have to be coachable. Scott and I will have the discussion at the end about coachability, and he will be watching. And if you want to progress and want that one-to-one help, first of all, be all in. Second of all, be coachable.
And what we mean by be all in, like we have Nicola and Jason who also have a shop. That's no problem because that's their job and they need that for their livelihood. Yeah. But we mean like if they're doing a bit of Avon or a bit of a bit of Visualis
and a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
If you're going to go bouncing around direct sales company, please tell me if you're a success and I'll eat my own shorts, but you're never going to be successful if you bounce around.
Make sure I've washed them first.
Yeah, you're never going to be successful if you bounce around direct sales company. You've got to stick one direct sales company and be all in.
So we know that time is precious and obviously your attention span. So if you want to pause and go get a cup of tea and then come back, you can, because we're probably going to go another 15 minutes. So guys, I saw your goals and I want you to dream bigger, way bigger than you're dreaming. I want to recruit one person this year, or I want to,
this week.
Just some of the goals are very, very small, and they're not going to set you on fire unless you get out of bed every single day when you've got a cold, when you're feeling poop, when the family is kicking off, when people are telling you your business will never work, and want to go out there and prove everybody wrong and push hard, then your goal isn't working, is it?
No, and sometimes, like if you have an easy goal, like Alexandra, you need something which is going to get you out of bed and go, okay, Alexandra, you got to make a sacrifice. You got to make a goal which makes you make a sacrifice, and that sacrifice can be getting up an hour earlier, sacrificing an hour's worth of sleep because you want to go and smash.
I prefer
goal.
Going to bed an hour later, but Mr. Scott goes crazy.
It's all about getting up early.
It's like us. We had a goal to buy a house. We set it last December, and we were saving and saving and saving and saving and saving, and we had to save a lot of money because here deposits are very, very high. And then you have your taxes and your fees as well, which is another 15% on top. And the goal was not motivating me personally. It was boring, just working to just try and save, because the majority of your large savable income comes at the end of the year. And I have no patience, and it was not firing me up. So I changed the goal and found a house, and we used all the savings we had and bought it. And then I was motivated because then we needed money to do the house up, to move in, to make the dream a reality. So if your goal isn't working, change it.
Yeah.
You know, goals, how important is a good goal?
Yeah, it's so important. Like, I'm not taking credit, but since we met Alexandra, we always used to sit down on New Year's Eve and we always just go, okay, let's write down some goals for the shit. And we used to have goals every year and we used to write them down every single year.
Yep.
And that comes from when I used to play rugby. That's what we used to do in the changing room in August. We used to write, and it was easy. You're playing a sport, you want to win, okay?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier to say I want to win rather than making it happen. So we used to write, we want to win this league, but we used to write down in little chunks. Okay, we got this first 3 games coming up first. We need at least 7 points out of 9 in those to progress. So goals, and then break them down. So if you want to be a director this year, that's your goal. You got to break.
But we are going to do more work on that as well. But all I want to say is make that goal like a big, hairy, sexy goal that excites you. I want you to be excited. Scott and I are on our next goal. We set our goals end of November, beginning of December now. We don't wait for the
October,
new year.
Jeez.
We've already been house hunting for our next goal because we need to have stuff to dream about. Every single year needs a really exciting goal. Okay, number 3. Okay, big one. Sales are the income for today. Parties are the income for tomorrow. So do always have party bookings in the calendar. And parties you can do parties any way you want. But recruiting is the income for a lifetime. And that is true. Scott and I earn from our sales, and I do good sales. In fact, my sales are picking up. I'm 7 years in and I'm selling better than I ever have, which is kind of odd in a way.
Do you want me to explain it? Alexandra would do, on average, every single year in Sensi, an average of 12 to 15,000 PRV a year. Every single year. It doesn't really go over that, and it doesn't really go under that. Now, that's all right. It's between 1,500.
Yeah.
But we see friends of ours who have lifetime PRV of 250,000 PRV.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And we would earn a lot more than those guys. Why?
95% of our income would now come
from our group,
from our wholesale volumes and stuff like that, which still comes from massive amounts of our hard motivational work. So we don't feel bad for that.
And we figured out at the start that if we were to become a real success to this company, we could only really become experts at one thing. Yeah. And we decided to put all our eggs in the recruiting basket, thanks to our good friend...
Legs or eggs?
Eggs. Thanks to our good friend John McConville before this, because we learned a few things about direct sales. So
go wide and go fast.
So